Here's what's making news now around Indiana, brought to you by your Indiana Pacers. Well, construction on the first phase of a planned $38.5 million development in South Bend is underway. Officials broke ground on 320 at the Cascade, which will include up to 18 luxury condos and 3 restaurants. The River Ridge Development Authority has selected Louisville-based Hollenbach Oakley to serve as master developer of an office park in the 6,000-acre property. Plans include a Class A office building near the new Lewis and Clark Bridge interchange. Fort Wayne-based Ash Brokerage Corporation has announced plans to acquire Zenith Marketing Group in New Jersey. The insurance brokerage firm says Zenith will continue operating under the same name and keep its 55 employees. Well, tourism is certainly one of the main economic drivers in southwest central Indiana, employing more than 5,000 workers, providing a more than $200 million economic boost as well. Now the 8-county economic development organization, Radius Indiana, wants to take the industry to the next level, making the region a preferred destination. For more on the new tourism strategy, let's bring in now Radius CEO Jeff Quile. Jeff, as always, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Gary.
First of all, for folks who maybe don't know the footprint of Radius, I mentioned 8 counties. You're in southwest central Indiana with some iconic features within those 8 counties.
Well, that's absolutely right. When you think of tourism in southwest Indiana, you've got the French Lick Resort, been there for 10 years now and has really established itself. You've got the Goose Pond Fish and Wildlife Area, Hoosier National Forest, Marengo Cave to the south, and Spring Mill State Park to the north. We go almost from the Louisville suburbs clear up nearly to the Terre Haute suburbs, going east to west.
Yeah, and the Cray Naval Surface Warfare Center is there. So yes. Defense is a big industry for you, as well as manufacturing. But you really feel that tourism, already big, can be bigger.
The growth trajectory we've seen for tourism in the region has been above most of the other sectors we've got. Because French Lick is so relatively new, being only 10 years old, it's really continuing to develop its brand and to market itself. And as it grows, it's really bringing the public down and making them aware of more things we have in the region. So we're taking off with tourism in a way that some of the other industries aren't doing yet.
You mentioned a brand. You really want to create a brand for southwest central Indiana to be a destination for tourism. You've already done some initial work. Talk about your strategy and some of the efforts you have underway now.
Well, we did a study last year that took a look at what the overall impact was, and you cited some of those numbers, $200 million in impact in the region. 73% of those dollars stay in the region, 5,000 people employed in tourism in our region. So when we looked at those things, we realized what we had going. We knew it was growing fast. We talked to a lot of our partners throughout the region, convention and visitor bureaus, private sector folks, economic developers, and they all agreed we could collaborate to develop a regional brand, something that would make folks think of southern Indiana as a place to go when they want to have a getaway. Yeah,
and this again is being very intentional. There are only certain things that areas can pursue legitimately, and you feel obviously that tourism is one that can pay off in the long term.
We've got a cluster of natural assets, and we haven't really tried to bring them all together effectively in marketing. So that's what we think we can accomplish, to give the visitor who's coming down for a day or two in one spot an understanding that they stay another third or fourth day, they can do something else.
Timeline, when would you do this new brand, if you will? How long do you think it'll be before you'll have something?
We have just stepped into this pool of water, so to speak, Gary. So we're underway now, very early stages. It'll take over a year for us to go through this because we want to do it right. We want to make sure we get the right information, give it the right consideration.
I only have 15 seconds. Got to get in a question. Radius Indiana making a trip to Japan, I think this fall.
Yes, that's right.
Economic development trip. What do you hope to accomplish?
We want to introduce ourselves to the Japanese firms. Without I-69, they've really never looked at us before.
All right, very good. Jeff Quile is the CEO at Radius Indiana. A lot going on in the region, in particular with tourism. We'll hear a lot more about that. Manufacturing crane as well. Jeff, thanks as always.
Thank you again, Gary.